Yo, everyday superpower, signing in, non-verbal communication, body language is the forte. But we're going to speak a little bit of verbal game today, alright? Click subscribe. You know, this is uncommon information you don't get elsewhere. This stuff will help you fly through life, alright? Oh, today we're talking about how to compliment people. And a little cheekily, it's how to get what you want. How to speak to the right people in the right way. Okay? We're talking indirectly here. Okay? So, first and foremost, I'm going to talk the contrary. And that is, do not ridicule or bitch or laugh at or clown anyone to anyone, especially someone you barely know. And I'm speaking in regards to workplaces here. This is like workplace culture 101. Behind their backs. Don't speak to other people about other people in a negative or detrimental way unless it's incredibly vague, open-ended, and it's a way to source out the opinion of the other individual, right? Don't put yourself in the firing line and set yourself up for a tragedy down the line. And definitely don't do it to about your supervisors, about your management, about your business connections. Don't chat shit, alright? So that's the contrary. And not only that, when I say don't do it with your supervisors and blah, 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 you could do it to your subordinate, you know what I mean? Let's say you're in a supervisor position and somebody below you is being a pain and you decide to chat shit about them behind their back to another person. Who's to say they won't become the manager in due time? It all shifts. Alright, the tables will turn. So just don't do that. Now, on the contrary, how do I get a promotion from my boss? How do I get a good business deal? How do I get in touch with this millionaire? How do I get this billionaire to give me a chance? Speak indirectly. Speak to other people as if you were bitching about that person, as if you were talking shit about that person, but compliment them. Yeah? Simples, right? I want to get in my boss's good favors because I'm always getting fired from jobs and I need to keep this job to look after my children, right? So, when engaging with the supervisor, i.e. his bottom bitch, you know, the one who runs around and is the eyes and ears of the boss, I'm not going to sit there and slag the boss off, and I'm not going to sit there and, you know, avoid speaking about him. I'm gonna very slightly. I'm not gonna make it extra. I'm gonna say, yeah, so and so is very inspirational. You know, he does a brilliant job. Yeah, I think he does a brilliant job, and that's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. Yo, if that supervisor's trying to butter up the boss, I mean, that's how he got in that position, right? Or she got in that position. She didn't do it by being enemies with management. It's probably going to report back, especially if you're new in that workplace, right? Boss is going to say, how's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? And he's going to say, oh, yeah. You know, he looks up to you a little bit. He looks up to you. What, really? Yeah, he told me. You see that? But you never, ever say it directly to the boss, because then it's just straight up flattery and you look like a bum lick and you're not going to get the same result. Oh, that girl is so beautiful. How do I get her? Well, are you friends with her sister? Are you friends with her best friend? Are you friends with her mother? Are you friends with any person in her vicinity who is going to report back to her with a little bit of gossip that includes you putting her on a pedestal or declaring what you want her to know? You see where I'm coming from? Speak to other people through other people. And that indirect manner of doing so is going to remove the defensive aspect of if you just attacked it head on. It's not too offensive. It's not a complete assault on that individual where they have to react there and then and give you a response there and then. They can take time to let it simmer. It sticks within their imagination. You plant a seed as opposed to knocking on a door and getting a rejection. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. Now, if you apply this on a very general basis, let's say you don't really want anything off anyone, but you would like to be in the best favours of everyone in case anything comes up in the future. It's very simple. Don't put people down behind their backs, and look for something you admire and appreciate and just bring that up instead, alright? Now, I'll tell you one downside to it, right? Because this is who I am. I don't talk crap about people behind their back purely because I don't deem it respectable. Okay, I think it's a showcase of bad character. Although on a evolutionary basis, I do see how it is a necessary evil as gossip when we were, tribal and tended to move around in very limited numbers. It was a way of understanding who was who and what was going on. It was a survival mechanism, right? But I'll leave the gossip and all that to the women, personally. As far as me doing it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with me listening to it. I see you hustling, babe. You know what I mean? So when we are dealing with people in this manner, considering we're not on the same wavelength and we are not engaging with people in the way generally people want to be engaged with, as far as, you go to a workplace, everyone wants to talk shit about everyone. Honestly, you know that. I know that. I bet you've done that. I've done it. I've talked shit before, but you have to leave it to an incredible minimal, especially when you learn and utilize this information to the most. So, where am I at? So the downside is, because you are not necessarily on their vibration, people are going to be less likely to talk to you about negative aspects of people, okay? So you'll be missing out on a lot of valuable information as far as, the general gossip goes, who people really are, and, information that you can utilize. Now, this is Machiavellian. This is really playing chess, right? But this is the information you'll be missing out on, as well as just the entertainment purposes of not really hearing the funny stories that people get up to, because people aren't going to come to you because they know that you're not going to have an adequate or, appropriate response on their wavelength. So that's the downside. But basically, to put a long story short, I got to go right now. So click subscribe, and if you want to get in someone's good books, compliment them, but not directly. Compliment the people around them about them. Bada bing.